to Democracy Now!
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So why don't you give us the chronology of what happened? I mean, to be the valedictorian of this elite university, the University of Southern California, is such an enormous achievement. Can you talk about when you learned you'd become the valedictorian and when you learned you would be giving the speech at graduation and what happened next?
Absolutely. So part of the selection process of becoming valedictorian is the willingness to give a speech during commencement. And so when I got the call, I believe in the second week of March or so, it was during Ramadan, and I was incredibly happy to receive the honor and incredibly grateful. And that was the moment I also knew that I would have the chance and the opportunity to address my peers during commencement.
And when did you hear that the university had changed its mind, and who contacted you?
Of course. So I was contacted by the administration on Monday, actually, this past Monday, shortly before the statement was released, that I would unfortunately no longer be allowed to give the commencement address for the class of 2024.
How typical is that, Asna? Does the valedictorian always give the speech?
Yes, as far as I know in history of USC, and in fact, I asked the provost this himself, has this ever happened to a USC valedictorian? And in fact, I think we both agreed that to the best of our knowledge, it has never happened before.
And what exactly did he say when he explained to you it was for safety reasons? Did he talk to you about what the threats are?
So that's exactly the question here, is that I received no details as to what the security threats or what the security concerns were. I heard that there were hundreds and thousands of emails sent to the university, but I was given no clue as to what the contents of these emails were, as well as, for example, the university had said that there were other security concerns in relation to having a big event such as commencement. But, even details there were unclear. And so when I had asked for details regarding the security concerns, for example, were they security concerns about me or my classmates, I was offered no information and was told it was not appropriate for me to know.
Now, were you aware that pro-Israel student groups were targeting you on social media? That a group called We Are Tav posted a photo of you on its Instagram account and claimed that you were, quote, openly promote anti-Semitic writings?
It's honestly heartbreaking. Yes, once I was announced on social media through USC student media, it only took a few hours before such posts began circulating. And it launched a very generalized and honestly very hateful and disappointing campaign to remove me as valedictorian, yes.
I want to go to the issue that wasn't raised by the provost, but in your Instagram bio, you link to a pro-Palestine landing page that reads in part, "Learn about what's happening in Palestine and how to help." Some students took to social media to express their opposition to it due to the language on the landing page. The website states, quote, "Zionism is a racist settler colonial ideology that advocates for a Jewish ethno-state built on Palestinian land." The website also states, quote, "One Palestinian state would mean Palestinian liberation and the complete abolishment of the state of Israel." End quote. Can you talk about that and talk about when you link to that page and your feelings about this?
Sure. So there are a few points that I'd like to clarify. The first is that a university and students have the responsibility to engage in productive and meaningful discussion. And we're allowed to learn from one another's ideas and express those ideas so that we can all grow. And I think that that's the beauty of an academic institution. But another factor that I'd like to bring up is that there are other pieces of information in that link. There are paragraphs and information relating to the two-state solution as well as the one state. The sentence right after the one you just quoted, it talks about coexistence between Arabs and Jews. There's a lot of factors here, and my goal in putting the link in my bio is simply to inform my fellow peers in the small ways that I can. But ultimately, what I want people to take away is for people to inform themselves, come to their own conclusions, and then advocate for what they believe in. And so, in no way am I advocating for hate. I'm only advocating for human equality and for the sanctity of human life when I say that Palestinians, as well as Jews, as well as Muslims and Armenians and anyone else who is invested in this conflict, has the equal right to life and the equal privilege of the fullest extent to life.